Wow, watching the colors shift at the beginning of this video is really odd. Greetings, gamers. It's Tim here again, and I want to talk about mecha gaming today. Um, we were playing a mecha game, and I felt the rules were too light. I thought there was a mutual agreement in the group, and there may not have been, but it was chosen, and I just felt like there wasn't enough structure. So I started looking at other mecha games, and I can't find a happy medium. I just really can't. Like, I'm an old Mecton to Mecton Zeta person. I'm very familiar with those systems and can build mecha in it pretty quickly, even by hand, because that's how I used to do it. Because I didn't know Excel at the time, or know that, excuse me, people who developed Excel sheets. And one of those things that really bugs me though is that uh, I don't care for that much detail now. I want enough detail to frame everything on, but I want that detail to be split between detailed enough characters and detailed enough mecha. And I've not found a game system that does that. I go and look at some popular ones like Lancers, and Lancers is like it's a really crunchy mecha system. But you can't custom build mecha. You can only swap weapons out based on your licenses. And it's a kind of a level based system. You have to earn the right to have certain mecha. And I'm like, no, not really. I don't really want a level system. Um, then there's some light ones powered by the apocalypse ones. I've looked at them and I've not found one that really stuck in my memory. They just all seem to be not enough. Not saying that powered by the apocalypse is bad. And I will never say that because there's some really great games using the powered by the apocalypse system. And I'm quite fond of several of them, although my favorite is Far Flung, which is probably the crunchiest version of those. But I'm familiar enough with Mecton Zeta and Mecton 2 to do a lot with it. And so I relooked at those. I also looked at Jovian Chronicles and found, whoa, it's a lot more complex for a lot less functionality than Mecton Zeta. I'm just going to say that straight out. It sets weapons capabilities based on their size. And that's not, once you get to energy weapons, that may not be a concern anymore. Um, Especially when you know, okay, this little light mecha is a sniper. I mean, it's meant to move quick, move quietly, and shoot something that's bigger than it is. But no, 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 you can't put this gun on it because the gun's too big. Wait, what? Okay, no, that's just a little too much. With Mecton Zeta, I can build a 5 foot tall mecha girl. Looks like a little animated Japanese character who's 5 foot tall, who's piloted by mice, who has a gun that can blow up, starships. It is possible. It's not necessarily the most ideal build in terms of points and all that other stuff. And Jovian Chronicles also worries about the money, so it's really worried about kind of the war game side of things, less than the role playing game side of things. And I mean, Mecton Zeta is a descendant of Mecton, and Mecton was originally a war game that evolved into an role playing game. It's still probably the best of the lot that I found, but it's just a little too crunchy for me these days. Um, so I was looking for a happy medium. I found several very light systems. I found the Powered by the Apocalypse systems. I found others. Battle Century G and Z, which are kind of the same book, just one updated, from what I understand, comes close. It comes really close, but then there's just some a little bit of complexity here and there that I'm like, I wish they left that little bit out. Just that little like section, but it's important to the way things work. Um, if I still had a copy of Smallville, I might base it on Smallville. I'm not a huge Cortex fan, but putting like the passions a character has as a list instead of truth, justice, etc., would be an interesting way to handle mecha piloting. Now, so I've decided since there's not a happy medium, I'm going to work on one. But as you can tell today, I'm kind of fuzzy. I'm kind of drained. I did quite a bit of cleaning in this hovel that I live in, this house. Um, you can't see it because most of the work that's going to go on back here eventually requires stuff moved, like boxes and other furniture. Because, like, It's a lot of work, and I started on it. I got about 5 bags worth of stuff to distribute and get rid of. Nothing really valuable. It's just there's. You would be surprised when you're a disabled person how much paperwork that generates. Nothing you can actually do. It's just stuff you have to keep and file away. And so I got all that paperwork filed away that wasn't actually that needed to be shredded and destroyed. And I've been working on making room for a display case that will go back in the back corner, back over here somewhere. I'm not sure yet because I need to put it in a place that is a glass case. So I need to put it so I can display my toys. Yes, I have toys. I'm a grown man, almost 50. I have toys. We've discussed this before. Um, and most of them are collectible toys. Although I'm not one of those people to keep them perfect in the box forever. And some of them are just fun little things. Like I have the I Am Elemental action figures. I have a couple of those, and I bought them because I wanted to support them making more female toys, and they're just awesome. So that's what I did, and that's what's going on. I am starting part of my book club, this reader club that I belong to that does a podcast. It's a group. They started editing the podcast. It's audio only, um, not video, unfortunately. There are good reasons for that and bad reasons for that. So some people are just shyer than I am. I mean, because look, I'm going to show up like this in a t-shirt and needing a good shave. But long story short is I'm going to be doing superhero books specifically because I've been reading a lot of fiction that's not just comic books. Although I will be discussing some comic graphic novels and trades and that kind of thing. Um, so it will be like Silverlion Super's podcast because the girl likes alliterative names. You want to talk about this is like I like you, I like you, you're fun because I like alliterative names. So it's like it amuses me when you find somebody who's just a little bit on the same wavelength as you are. Vastly, don't go there. Vastly too young to have any kind of thing with other than just being a friend. Not that I really am aiming for anything other than a friend anyway. So, I've been through that, done that. Nope. Been married, not doing it again unless miracles occur. So that's where I am. I'm working on this. I would like to suggest people check out um, these series of games. This is one of them by Spencer Campbell. Um, and they're called powered by the Lumen system, I think, or just the Lumen system. I always get it backwards. Oh yeah, it's illuminated by Lumen. Yeah, the Lumen system. And they're these little. They're not much bigger than RPG zines. They're pretty well produced. They don't have a lot of in the ways of art or anything, but there is some. I mean, but it's not a mecha game. This is more like a person in powered armor. Not that there's a lot of difference, but it's smaller scale and it is a little light for what I'm wanting. But they're neat. He's doing a fantasy game. Uh, he did one that was inspired by loot shooters. He was originally writing a game for a video game, which we shall not name, that the fans just blasted him over. And it turns out, after the fact, after he said, screw it, I'm not going to do this anymore because I was trying to make something as a love letter to this game that I enjoy. And the fans just blew back on him, and the company didn't care. So it's like sometimes you've got to watch when you jump down somebody's throat over something. Because, I mean, they might have been willing to buy it from him. He might have been willing to sell it to him. They might have been able to do an official role playing game based upon this property that makes money and is fairly popular. But unfortunately, the fans ruined it. And that's something you got to do about being a fan is you got to remember not to be the fanatic. Don't be the fanatic about it. That's about all I have to say this time around. I'm keeping it short at 10 minutes. As I said, I had several doctor's appointments. If I didn't cover that in this video, so I'm kind of exhausted. On top of that, and cleaning, joy, oh joy. So peace, good gaming. God bless.